So if your partner snores, sleeps with the TV on, or you just can't seem to block out light and noise at night, this might be the solution. So let's go over this Bluetooth sleep mask. I'm going to cover the key features, show you how it works, and talk about who this is for, all to help you make a better informed buying decision. Okay, so let's do an unboxing of the sleep mask. So of course, we get the mask itself. And then we also have some earplugs with it. And of course, our charging cable, USB-A to USB-C. Then our instruction manual. And then a little case to carry the sleep mask in. So all the essentials here. So this is a sleep mask with built-in Bluetooth headphone. It's basically two products in one. So it has, of course, the blackout eye mask and the flat wireless speakers that sit over your ears. So it connects via Bluetooth 5.4, and the mask itself is made of 95% cotton. So really soft. Have a look, like this feels incredibly silky. And the inside is also very soft. Not as silky as the outside though. And this has a rechargeable battery inside. The speakers are adjustable so you can move them around to line up with your ears, which is nice. So let's go over more of the features of this mask. So again, it has that velvety feel on the outside, and on the inside, you have that cotton fabric that is very breathable. So with this, you're not gonna overheat, which is of course really important with your sleep masks, especially during the summer. I've had sleep masks that I've put on where I just wake up and my whole face is sweating. And right here at the nose, there's actually a little cushion pad. This is really important because it seals off the light that would normally leak through around your nose. So the fit feels adjustable and secure without being too tight. So really important with your sleep mask is not being able to let the light come in. Okay, and then you have these speakers on the side here. You can feel them on both sides in those little pockets. And the build quality is pretty solid. The elastic has a good stretch to it, and the whole thing feels durable. Doesn't feel like it's gonna break at all. And the light blocking on this is legit. It's not just pretty dark, it's basically completely blackout. The brand says that it'll be 99.99% of the light blocked. I wouldn't say it's quite that high. It's probably more around like 98-ish%. A tiny bit of light gets in. But it's basically, I've used a lot of sleep masks and I've never had any sleep mask that completely 100% eliminates all light. But this is gonna work well. So if you're sensitive to light and just don't want any light getting in, this will work well. And what's nice about this is you can use it in a room with lights on, you know, your partner watching TV or whatever, and you're in total darkness. Okay, so again, this does run on Bluetooth 5.4, which is the latest version. It pairs quickly and the connection is stable, which of course is what you want with any Bluetooth connection. Okay, to show you how to connect, we're gonna hold down on the power button for a couple seconds here, and you can hear it says power on, then we have our phone. Okay, and then we'll look for the connection. There it is, VO3. And then in the device, I heard it say connected, so we are connected. So easy to connect. Okay, and then the controls for this thing. So we have it on. To turn it off, we're just gonna hold down for 3 seconds, and then you'll hear in the speakers, it'll say power off. Again, to power back on, just hold for a couple seconds. And the plus and minus, so of course, raising the volume with plus, lowering the volume with minus. And to go to the next song, just hold the plus, and to go to the previous song, just hold the minus. And then to play and pause, just press the power button once, and also to answer and hang up on a call, press the power button once as well. So really basic controls. And if the mask is unused for 8 minutes, it will shut off. So the sound quality is actually better than I expected. These aren't going to replace, with white noise, rain, podcasts, music, meditation apps. They work really well. And these also do get really loud, the speakers. So one thing that surprised me, that even without any audio playing, the mask itself helps muffle some noise just from the material on here. So the speakers can slide around in these pockets, and this is important because everyone's ear placement is just a little bit different. So I'd recommend taking a minute when you first get this to position the speakers right over your ears. So once you find that sweet spot, it's really comfortable. So I'll go ahead and just demo me putting this on so you can see where you want the speakers to be. So of course you want them right over your ears, like that. So just keep that in mind as you're putting them on. So there we go, there's the fit. So it feels a little weird because usually you don't have a sleep mask over your ears. That's right over my ear, and there's where the speaker is, there's my ear is. So it's a good fit. And that little pad here does really help with the light. Again, there is a little bit of light coming in, but that's inevitable with any sleep mask. And this really is comfortable. Some sleep masks can be kind of cumbersome and just feel like they're just latched onto your face and they're just huge thing on your face, but this just feels really comfortable and it feels really just like comforting with that little bit of pressure that's applied. So again, with the speakers, these can slide around, especially if you're a side sleeper. So you always want to make sure that they're centered when you are putting this back on every night. So that could just be a little annoying if they do slide around. You could of course just, raise the volume if the speaker isn't directly over your ear, but of course it would be better to have the speaker right over your ear. Okay, so the battery is rated at 15 hours of playback. So in real world use, that works out to about 3 nights or so before you need to charge it, but it really just depends on how long you sleep and how loud you're running the audio. Also, what you can do with your specific apps, whether you're on Spotify or anything like that, you can always set a timer. It's like a half hour or so, so then the music or podcast or whatever you're listening to stops playing, and then this will shut off after 8 minutes. So that's the best way to go about it, instead of just have it playing continuously. And charging is fast. You just plug it in each morning while you're getting ready and you're good to go. And I keep the charger right next to my phone charger, so it's easy to make it part of your routine. Okay, so washing this thing. So the Bluetooth module is removable, which means you can actually wash the fabric, which is nice. The liner separates from the electronics. So if we look down on both sections here, there are little holes. And we can take out the Bluetooth module as well as the speakers, and then we can wash it. It's recommended to hand wash it. But I'll be honest, removing the electronics isn't the easiest thing. It takes a little bit of effort, but the fact that you could wash it at all is really nice, especially something you're wearing on your face every night. So just keep that in mind. It's a little annoying having to take this out. Okay, so we have audio playing, we have meditation music playing, and we have this on full blast here on my phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my mic next to the mask so you can hear how loud it is on full blast. Of course, it's meditation music, so it's not the loudest music, but you can't hear it at all. So you can see that it's playing. So really quiet. To get the full volume, you need to have, again, these speakers by your ears. That's why it's so important that they're by your ears, because you just can't hear outside of this. So what that means is, this is not going to disrupt your partner at all. It's not going to wake up your partner, even if you have this on a loud setting. So this is really cool about this sleep mask. And again, we had our controls. So we want to go to the next song, hold down. We can see that it goes to the next song. Do it again, and then hold back, go back a song in the volume. See the volume changing. So it works perfectly. And pausing, and see that the music is paused. Okay, and that's basically it. Really simple to use. So let's talk about what I like and what could be improved about this. So what I really like is the light blocking is excellent. Almost complete darkness. The sound quality is better than expected for this type of product. And the battery life is solid. And the comfort is actually really good. Once you get everything positioned, the speakers right next to your ears, it's very comfortable. What can be improved? The speakers can shift around during the night, especially if you're a side sleeper, so you do need to adjust them. It's just a little inconvenient. Also, if you have like longer hair, be careful with the Velcro. It's strong and it can grab onto your hair. You have the same problem with most sleep masks anyways though. It's also important to note that this is not noise canceling. It blocks light and the audio masks noise. But if you're trying to use this as, something on an airplane with a loud engine, noise, the audio might get drowned out. So this is designed for sleeping at home or in hotels and not for active noise reduction. So who should get this? So if your partner snores, this is perfect for you. You know, play some white noise or some ambient sounds and you won't hear a thing. Also, if your partner sleeps with the TV on and it keeps you awake, same thing. Lights blocked, audio playing, you're asleep. And if you're a light sleeper who wakes up at every little noise or light, this combo of blackout mask plus audio really helps. So like if you work the graveyard shift and need to sleep during the day, this blocks out the daylight completely. You just put some white noise on and you're out. Also, if you deal with tinnitus like I do and need constant background noise to sleep, this really helps. The built-in speakers are way more comfortable than trying to sleep with earbuds in. I've tried earbuds and it just doesn't work. And it's just not the same having like your phone or another speaker, you know, on the side of your bed. It's just not as good as just, of course, having the speakers right by your ears. So, I mean, if you travel a lot and struggle to sleep in hotels, this is also great for that. You know, unfamiliar beds, thin curtains, noisy hallways, this handles all of it. So in my opinion, this is definitely a sleep mask worth checking out.